Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for joining me. Today I want to talk about the ability to find good things even in the worst situations. On August 29, 1962, a beautiful baby girl was born in a hospital on an Air Force base in Texas. That beautiful baby girl was born to two loving parents. Her father was an airman and her mother was a homemaker. She was the fourth of 5 children. 36 years later, on August 29, 1998, that same beautiful baby girl was waiting on her first grandchild. Her daughter was almost due. She was due within a couple weeks, and she was very anxious to have her first grandbaby here. On her birthday, she looked at her daughter and she said, "The best gift that you could give me is my first grandchild." And within 24 hours, her daughter went into labor. And on August 31st, her first grandbaby was born. That was me. My grandma was an amazing woman. An onlooker looking in would see her as just a regular person. She worked at 9 to 5, was married, had a house, 3 kids, the regular that you would expect. But she was so much more than that. She was the most brilliant woman I had ever met. She had an impeccable talent for baking, and she was just all around a lovely person. Everything seemed normal up until 2010. In 2010, my grandma was diagnosed with stage 4 metastatic colon cancer. This meant that she had a tumor in her colon that had spread to her liver as well. She went through the usual treatments. She had surgery, did chemo, and we thought she was in remission. A few years later, we found out that the cancer wasn't in remission and she had 2 more spots in her lungs. This really took a hit at our family for sure, but my grandma always stayed positive and very upbeat. She continued her passion in Christ. She continued loving. She continued doing the things she loved. She traveled with my grandpa. She got to do things like go to Alaska and travel up the East Coast and go to Canada. Things were really bad. She was really sick. She was suffering. She was in pain. And she wouldn't let any of us help because that was the person she was. That was the strong person that she was. In July of 2016, her pain had gotten too bad and there were no other hopes. Earlier that summer, she had been going to Duke University Medical Center to try and be a part of some clinical trials that they had going on, but she was too far along. In July of 2016, my grandma was put into hospice. While this would be a very hard time on anybody else, our family made the best of it. My grandpa was there with her. Her new puppies were there with her. We were there with her. I got married there so that she could see me get married. Earlier that summer, she had seen me graduate. After watching all of her kids graduate, I was the first grandchild she got to see graduate as well. While she was in hospice, the whole family came around, and we made it the best time. Everybody was there for her. We loved her. We sang to her. We told her jokes. What I'm trying to say here is that this was the darkest time in my life and in my family's life, and we came together and we made the best of it for the most beautiful woman that we had ever met. Thank you for joining me today, and I hope you have a good week.